All right, guys, I've done the reel review on this, the Penn Pursuit IV. I absolutely love this reel, especially at a budget price. Today, we're doing a review of the full combo, the Penn Pursuit IV LE rod and reel combo from Penn. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Boy, I have been doing a bunch of Penn rod and reel reviews. I've got one more coming after this too. I've got the review of the Wrath 2 combo coming after this. But guys, I love this combo, especially at a budget price. So the MSRP of this combo from Penn is $99.99. And guys, if you are gonna go saltwater fishing, I mean, yes, you can do it cheaper than that, but if you want to do it with something that I consider to be pretty high quality for the price, man, this is where it's at. Especially if you're going after sea trout, flounder, not huge snook, but snook and redfish. If you're inshore saltwater fishing, man, the Penn Pursuit IV. What an awesome combo. And I love this LE. I mean, I love the color, right? So Penn put a splash of blue on the reel instead of its normal silver color. And then the wind grips and it's a sharp looking combo. Looks good on video for sure. And guys, if you haven't seen my reel review, right? Because I'm gonna cover the combo and the rod today more than the reel. If you haven't seen my reel review, I'm gonna put a link right up here where you can check that out. And guys, in that video is footage of me catching fish with this combo. So be sure to check that out because I had a great time fishing with this, but I'm not gonna put that footage in this video just to keep it a little shorter. So if you wanna see actual footage of this combo catching fish, check that out. But today, guys, I wanna talk a little bit about just the options for the Penn Pursuit IV LE and what you can get it in and that kind of thing. So you have different size reel options in the combo. You have the 25, the 3000, the 4000, the 5000, and the 6000. You have rod power in medium light, medium, and medium heavy. And then you have rod lengths of 7 to 9 feet, and they are all one piece. And what the bummer is at the making of this video, they are completely sold out online, right? So they're out of stock. But I'm sure Penn is getting more in, so hopefully by the time I launch this video, as a matter of fact, when I launch this video, things will be back in stock because I will hold it until Penn's got product to sell. But all that to say, guys, this thing is awesome, and I can see why it's out of stock. People should be buying these things left and right because they are a fantastic combo at a fantastic price. So when I decided to review all these Penn combos, guys, I was going to review them all the same size. I was going to review them all as 3000s. But the Spin Fisher doesn't make a 3000. They make a 2500 and a 3500. I went with the 3500. And I have the Fierce 4 and the Battle 4 in the 3000. So I thought for the Pursuit, I would try the 2500. And as a matter of fact, the 3000 was sold out when I ordered this one. So just to let you guys know, I did buy these with my own money. They were not sent to me. The only one that was sent to me was the Penn Fierce 4 combo. Penn sent that to me for a review. So I did not buy that one, but I bought the rest of them. And I bought the rest of them based on how impressed I was with the Penn Fierce 4. So just to keep that in mind. But I bought the 2500 because the 3000 was sold out. And I'm really glad that I did because I really like a light action setup for sea trout on the flats. I love it. I love, in Florida here, we can keep sea trout anywhere between 15 and 19 inches. We can keep one per vessel over the 19 inches. And I just hooked into a 22 incher a couple of days ago. I'll put a picture right here where you can check that out. What an awesome trout. It wasn't on this rod, but it was an awesome trout. And I love trout fishing. I love sea trout fishing. Yeah, I mean, reds and snook are a blast but I can get 4 people out on the flats on my pontoon boat and I'll catch sea trout all day long and just have a blast with people getting them out catching fish. So I love to target sea trout. And when I was out fishing multiple rods, I kept turning back to this rod. I just loved it. It was just an easy rod to fish with. It's lightweight, it's comfortable, it's the right size for sea trout, just perfect. So I love this 2500 size. just a few things that I want to mention. Again, watch the reel review for stuff on the reel, but it does have the HT100 drag. It is a composite body reel, so it's not all metal, so it's much lighter weight. This is spool with 10-pound Berkeley X9 with 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. Performed really, really well. It is a braid-ready spool, but I've backed it with monofilament because I didn't want to load it up with too much braid, right? So I always do that. It does have a 4 stainless steel bearing system, so I'm guessing that's a 3+1, where it has 3 ball bearings and 1 roller bearing. It has instant and a reverse. It has everything that you would expect. Nice big handle on a 25, right? I like a big handle. That way, I get a good grip, especially if my hands are wet or sweaty, because it's hot here in Florida, and so sometimes I'm fishing and I'm just dying and my hands are wet. I like to get a good grip. So really, really like the reel. Let's talk about the rod. So this rod is the one that comes with the 2500 when you order it, which means it's a medium light, it's 7 feet long, and the line capacity is 6 to 12 pounds mono or 6 to 15 pounds of braid, right? But the line rating you'll see on the website is 6 to 12. The rod is a moderate fast action rod, which is interesting to me in that most of the rods that I was fishing with Penn are fast action. And so a moderate fast action means that the rod bends further down the blank than a fast action. A fast action rod, it'll start to bend higher up on the rod, and then an extra fast action only bends at the tip. So this rod has a little more bend to it. And I kind of like that because a moderate fast action rod tends to cast farther than a fast action rod because you can load up more of the rod to cast. So I like that. The compromise in a moderate fast action rod is that the tip isn't nearly as sensitive as a fast action rod because there's more bend in the rod. You get less sensitivity to detect light strikes. All in all though, guys, I didn't really have any problem with it. Just to mention that the gear ratio on this reel is 6.2 to 1, which is the right ratio for flats fishing in my opinion, and you can reverse the handle left and right. This rod has the Penn Dura guides on it, which means it's a one-piece stainless steel guide. I like the one piece because you're not going to pop out the inserts. They're a little more durable, and the guides are okay, right? The first guide is a little bit smaller than I would expect, but I didn't really have any problems with line flowing through the guides. Either way, I didn't sense that I was getting any kind of friction that was limiting my casting distance. So I do like that they're stainless steel, but always rinse your stuff when it hits saltwater. Rinse your guides, rinse your reel, just rinse everything. It has 8 guides. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guides and a tip for 8 total guides. And line capacity on this reel and this rod is 240 yards a 10-pound test, 220 yards a 15-pound test, or 160 yards a 20-pound test. I'm running a 10-pound test on this with monofilament backing. So just keep that in mind. You don't need to load up that much braid. Putting some monofilament backing on the reels will save you money on fishing line because braid is expensive. So I highly recommend that. This rod is equipped with a hook keep, which is very important. Never hang your hook on inside the guide. The hook will nick the guide and fray your line. Either hang on the guide frame, or it's always better to use a hook keep. This rod has the split grip with the wind grips up top. I really like these wind grips. They're rubberized grips that are great for when your hand is wet or sweaty. And then the end just has EVA foam. So I really, really like this rod. I was really, really impressed with it. But one of the things I want to talk about is whether or not you should buy the combo or just the reel, right? And that is a question that only you can answer, but let me give you my thoughts on it, right? And if you watch my other Penn combo reviews, you're probably going to hear the same thing that I have said before. So the reel itself, right, if you're just going to buy the reel, is $60, $59.99. The combo price for this rod and reel is $99.99. So a difference of $40. And so in my mind, this is a $50 rod, or in this case, a $40 rod. So it's in that $50 rod class that I always consider rods. So I consider rods, or I compare rods based on their price class. So under $50, $50 to $100, $100 to $200, and $200 and above is kind of how I think about fishing rods. And I expect those $100 to $200 rods and those $200 and above rods to blow away rods under $100 in every aspect: sensitivity, durability, weight, casting distance, all of that stuff, right? I expect a high dollar rod to blow away low dollar rods, and everybody should, right? If you're spending lots of money on a rod that is outperformed by a $50 rod, you should request your money back, right? So these are inexpensive rods. I think this is the right rod for this reel. I think it's really well balanced in terms of price point, right? I don't normally put a $50 reel on a $250 rod, right? I just normally don't do that. But I have sometimes put $80 reels on $200 rods. In fact, I did that with my St. Croix Mojo Inshore rod, which I'll put a link to right here. I paired that with a Daiwa Legalis reel, which I really, really like. So so there are times when I'll mix and match depending on the rod and reel. But in this case, I think this is a really well balanced combo in terms of rod price and reel price. And as I said before, when I was fishing with this thing, I really enjoyed fishing with it. I kept going back to it. And I don't normally do that on my budget stuff. I tend to gravitate towards my more expensive combos because I expect them to perform. But I had a blast fishing with this thing. And quite honestly, I'll probably fish with it a lot more. This rod is going to get a lot of use on my boat, either with me or my guests or my family. It's probably a rod that's going to go a lot. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, because it's that medium light rod, it's relatively lightweight. I'm pretty impressed with it. 7 foot is a good length. I prefer 7 foot 6 inch rods for flats fishing because I like the extra casting distance a 7 foot 6 rod gives. But for a lot of people, a 7 foot rod is long enough. And guys, I was really impressed with how it performs. It fought fish really well. I detected the bite no problem. It really is a fantastic budget trout rod. If you want to go sea trout fishing and you're looking for those slot sea trout, those 15 to 19 inch fish, you can fish all day with something like this. It didn't wear me out. I've said in other videos I have a wrist injury that I'm working with a physical therapist on to try and help me increase my durability for casting. Like if I'm casting a lot, my wrist gets really tired and sore, so I'm working with a physical therapist to try and help me with that. This rod really makes casting all day easier for me, and I really, really like that. So it is a really, really good budget combo. It's one of my favorite budget combos on the market. It might even be my favorite budget combo on the market because for $100 you can get out there and you can fish all day with something that I think is going to hold up and last quite a long time in saltwater. I'm really, really pleased to report that back to you guys. In all honesty, guys, I can't think of really much to say negative about this combo other than if you want higher performance, you're going to spend a lot more money, right? So again, if you're on a budget, this is a great way to go. So guys, I'm going to put affiliate links below to both the combo and the reel so you can decide whether or not you just want the reel or you want the rod and reel combo itself. They are affiliate links, so if you use my link to purchase, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support my channels. I get a little commission on the sale. And guys, if you have any questions about the Penn Pursuit IV combo, drop some in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Or you connect with me on my other social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or my website at kempoutside.com. You know, we exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. That's why we're doing these gear reviews at all different types of price points. I get that, you know, when you're trying to outfit a family to go fishing, it ends up being a lot of money. So depending on your budget, you might want something a little higher end or something a little more budget friendly. That's why we're reviewing all of these Penn combos so you can decide which one is right for you. Guys, we have one more combo to review, and that is the Penn Wrath 2. That's even less expensive than this Pursuit 4. So you might want to check that one out as well if you're on a budget. I also really like that one, guys. I've been really impressed with Penn's lineup from their high dollar stuff to their budget stuff. I think they make a fantastic product that for most people is going to do exactly what they need. Now, if you are looking for something higher end, if you're used to fishing rods in the $200 to $250 price range or higher, and you're fishing with reels, that are $200 and higher and that kind of stuff, this combo is probably not going to be right for you unless you're looking for a budget option for people that you take fishing with you who don't necessarily know how to use high dollar stuff, and you're worried that they're going to drop it in the water or break it or high stick it or whatever. That's why I like to have rod and reel combos of different price points on my boat, so that I can hand inexperienced anglers stuff that I'm not too concerned about if something bad happens. This is kind of like in the middle of the road, right? $100 is still a lot of money for a lot of people. So, for those of you where $100 is a stretch on fishing gear, I think this is really nice, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. It would make an excellent gift. If you are looking for something, if you're used to fishing higher end stuff, but you're looking for something on a budget to give to a guest, this is also a fantastic option. All around, guys, price being what it is, I think this is a fantastic combo that just flat out catches fish. So that's my opinion. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that little bell icon that notifies you when I release new videos, and be sure to stay tuned as we continue to bring you all kinds of fishing content here in 2025. I'm super excited about all the stuff that we're doing here at Camp Outside. We're celebrating our 5-year anniversary this year. So we're just going to keep on rocking, camping, hiking, and fishing all across the United States, and bringing you gear reviews, how-tos, tips and tricks, campground reviews, camping, hiking, and fishing content. All the stuff we can bring you, we're going to be doing it as hard as we can to get you the stuff that you love. So, pun intended, I hope you camp out right here at Camp Outside. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.